Okay, today we want to update all of our clients on the latest government announcements in terms of the stimulus package. So what we're going to do is we're going to run a couple of sessions on this and I'll take you through those. So I'm just going to open up a PowerPoint that's hopefully you'll all be able to see now that will take you through this. So this update is for businesses with employees. We will have some other dates relative to other people following this. So today what we're going to do is we're going to look at, in this presentation, it incorporates a federal and state announcement as of the 22nd of March 2020, okay, as of yesterday. As changes continue to be made, we'll keep you up to date, but these are up to date as of yesterday. Many of the announcements the government, both federal and state, have come out do lack detail. So we're giving you the highlights. When we see the legislation, we will provide you more information. As I mentioned before, we are going to be issuing some more vlogs out there. So if you're a business looking to invest, if you're a business that does not have employees, if you are an individual or retiree, or you want help on supporting your employees, we'll be releasing some more vlogs about that. Today is about if you employ people. So what I'll do is I'll get started. So firstly, we're going to look at the federal government changes. The first one we're going to look at is the PAYGW boosting cash flow for employers. Now, this has had a couple of versions that have come out. So we're talking about the version as of yesterday. So to be eligible, you are a pay-as-you-go employer and you are registered before the 12th of March and you've got a turnover of less than $50 million. Now, if you meet that criteria, then you are going to receive a minimum of $20,000 support from the federal government, maxing out at $100,000. Now, this all works on the amount of tax you can withhold for employees. Now, importantly, this payment is free. It is tax-free from that point of view, so you will not be paying tax on it later. Now, the way it's going to work is they're going to be issuing these as refunds as part of completing your business activity statements, okay, over the March-June periods with a balance in July to September. Now, if you're a monthly lodger, it's a little bit different, okay? You're actually going to get 300% of your PAYGW refunded when you lodge your March BAS. As I said, at the moment, there's a bit of lacking detail in a lot of these announcements, but we're just giving you the highlights right now. Now, you must lodge your activity statement to get this payment. So you don't want to hold off on your BAS. It needs to be lodged in order to receive it. Now, some key dates for this particular announcement is not 100% clear, but the government have advised that they're going to issue refunds within 14 days of lodgement. Okay, so that seems to be the guidance they're providing. So if you lodge your BAS quarterly, okay, the due dates for those are generally the 28th of April, 28th of July, and 28th of October. If you're a monthly lodger, it's the 21st day of each month. So starting on the 21st of April and moving through to the 21st of October. More detail will be released as we receive it. Now, the second announcement from the government, which is about a week old, is about supporting apprentices and trainees. Now, to be eligible for this, you need to be a business with less than 20 employees, okay? Now, if you meet that criteria, then you're allowed to claim up to 50% of your apprentice or trainee wages, up to a maximum of $7,000 per quarter. And that's going to cover the March, June, and September quarters for any employees or employed before the 1st of March. Now, this is actually also available for any employer or group training organisation of any size if they re-engage an eligible out-of-trade apprentice or trainee. So think about those guys who have then lost their jobs. If you have more than 20 employees and you re-engage that person, you will be eligible for this amount. Now, you have to register for the subsidy, and at this stage, there's little detail on how you actually do that. So keep an eye out and probably speak to your apprentice or traineeship organisation. I expect they're going to receive more detail in the coming week. Okay, now the last thing for the federal government have announced is the ATO, which are going to provide a range of services around this situation. So the ATO have already expressed that they will offer payment deferrals for those people who are having trouble in paying their tax and their BAS obligations. They are also going to allow businesses and individuals to vary your tax instalments. So think of the PAYG instalment, which is your personal tax or your company tax. They are allowing you to vary that to nil. You can also vary your FBT and excise taxes, But be careful of erring, because if you do end up needing to pay tax later, you're just pushing the problem down the road. The government are also allowing you to change your reporting periods if your turnover is under $20 million. So what we mean here is, if you are normally getting a GST refund and you normally have to wait till the end of the quarter, they are allowing you to change to be a monthly reporter, meaning you get that GST earlier. Now, the problem is, if you do this, you do need to start on for 12 months. So just be mindful of that. The government are also allowing people to claim a refund on any previously paid PAYG instalments. So thinking about your September and December activity statements have already been lodged. If you feel you are not going to have a tax bill this year, you are allowed to receive a refund for the claim on that, on what you have paid. Talk to your accountant if you need more detail on that information. And finally, the ATO have announced that they will remit interest penalties on any debt incurred after the 23rd of January, and they are announcing low interest payment plans as well. What we'll do now is move to the state government announcements. So the first one is in relation to payroll tax. Now, I'm talking about Victoria when I talk about state government. If you're an employer in another state and need some advice, please contact your advisor. Today, I'm just going to talk about Victoria. Now, to be eligible for payroll tax relief, you need to be eligible. You need to be an employer with a payroll of less than $3 million. What they're offering is a full refund of instalments already paid in the 20 to 21 financial year. So what's already been paid over the last 8 months. They will then no longer require any more instalments for the remainder of this year. However, you do still need to lodge your monthly payroll tax return. They are also allowing you to defer payroll tax for the first 3 months of the next financial year. And to be eligible, or if you are eligible, the SRO are going to be contacting those businesses to issue the refunds. So there's nothing you need to do to receive this. The next relief the state government doing is on liquor licenses. So if you have paid your liquor license already for this financial year, then they're going to refund that to you. If you have not paid it, they are going to waive that, so you will not need to pay it this year. Like with the last relief, the State Revenue Office will be contacting those eligible businesses. There is nothing you need to do to receive that refund. State Revenue Office are also offering land tax deferrals. Now, to be eligible, you must have non-residential land holdings of below $1 million. So key point there, it's not if you have residential buildings or residential land, it's you have non-residential, okay? And it must be below $1 million. If you do, this is a deferral only. So you can defer payment to the 31st of December 2020. And those of you who are in this place, you would have just received your bills probably in the last month. So you can defer that. Once again, the SRO will be in contact if there's anything more around this. The next two announcements the state government have announced are a little bit scant on detail. The first one is a business supports fund they've announced, which is where $500 million will be allocated to the fund. It's designed to support hospitality, tourism, accommodation, arts, entertainment and retail. Now for those businesses, and this is to cover those businesses who are not necessarily eligible for payroll tax relief. Now we don't have any further detail on this. The government have advised that they're going to work with the Victorian Chamber of Commerce and Australian Hotels Association on how to administer this. So we'll give you more details when we find those. And the final item from the state government, they've created a Working for Victoria Fund. Once again, details are a little bit scant. However, they're allocating $500 million to it, and it's principally to help those workers who have lost their jobs. From what we see in the announcement, it's looking to basically provide money to give people job opportunities in things like cleaning public infrastructure. More detail will come out when we receive it. Now we're going to turn our eyes to the banks and just see what they're doing. So the banks have announced that they are going to allow deferral of payments. Okay. Now at the moment they've announced this purely for business, but if you're a residential lender, I wouldn't hesitate to contact the bank and see if you can get the same conditions. At the moment, once again, we're not sure on the detail here, but we believe there's only certain loan types that will receive this benefit. Be warned though, interest is likely to keep accruing. So if you have a bank that does allow you to defer your payments for 6 months, be warned that interest will continue to accrue as it currently stands. So don't take this lightly. In order to attain this, you need to speak to your banker. So give your bank a call Every bank has a general number. If you don't have a direct line to a business banker, call your bank's general line and they'll be able to help you out. There's also been an announcement from the government, once again with not too much detail, around new lending to small business. So the government are looking to guarantee up to 50% of any new loans issued, up to an amount of $250,000. And that is available to eligible small, medium enterprise businesses. Once again, there's no further detail on this, but we wanted to make you aware. Now, as always, we had to ask you to support local businesses where possible. And here at Pursuit, we do offer a 15-minute phone call to talk about the stimulus package and how it can help you. If you do have any further questions, please contact your advisor on 5623 3778. And if you're struggling with the mental effects of this coronavirus, don't hesitate to seek assistance. Keep an eye out for our further vlogs later in the day.